Hi guys, welcome back to Cowboy Divine. I hope you're having a great day. I'm so excited to be here. Today's focus is all about sage advice for your current situation, for love, career, whatever comes through in the cards. I'm going to start this reading with a disclaimer. Group readings and general readings are for confirmations. If you're looking for more specific answers, I would recommend booking a personal private reading with a tarot reader. If you'd like to book with me, I now have all of that information linked in the description box below. If you're not new to pick a card readings, I will meet you at your timestamp. If you are new, let's get down to that. So for today's pick a card reading, I have laid out paint tubes. And what you're going to use is your intuition or your gut feeling to see which pile or which color is drawing you in the most. Once you've selected a pile, you'll scroll down to the pinned comment or the description box below. Find that timestamp with a corresponding color, and I will meet you at your reading. Hi Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. For everyone who chose this dark green, we're going to get to your oracle card last. So if you notice, we have little bits of sea glass on some of the cards. This is just a visual key for me to remember which ones were reversed. I just think in a visual sense, it's much more appealing to look at them upright. And I don't always take reversals. So that's more of an intuitive thing for me. And I just like having the little signifier up there just as a little cue to tune me in. So for my pile ones attracted to, green, that makes me think that this pile is trying to attract health, luck, employment, prosperity. Green is a color of growth and wealth, but also new beginnings. And I see new beginnings written all over here, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. So when I see this, I'm also seeing 2 7s and 2 6s, so that's pretty cool. So back to the 7 of Wands here. The Wands represent thoughts and ideas, and I'm seeing you defending this new idea or having a change of thought or a change of heart regarding someone you know, regarding work, regarding something in the world, something that's really shifted your view. So we have this character standing up on this hillcock with a bunch of wands either at his disposal or like reaching up to, attack him. And he just looks really defensive. And since this card was in the reverse, I'm just sensing that maybe we were not quite ready to talk about this, But I also see, directly following the Wheel of Fortune, which is setting something in motion. And I think that once we have the confidence to talk about whatever this, new idea is that we feel like we have to defend, we're going to really set our fate into a different path, We're going to be able to guide our fortune and take the wheel. So for the Wheel of Fortune, I like to look at this as, the ups and downs of fate, sort of an indicator of what you can change, what you have the power to change in this life, and what things are fated events, that are really outside of your hands. And for me, in order to start this Wheel of Fortune, it is oriented up, which is great news, especially for those looking to make some gains or to start new beginnings. But in order to set this in motion, it has to have an input of some sort. We have to make the wheel turn. If you're trying to press flour, that grain isn't going to crush itself, You've got to use maybe like a wind turbine or water to get that wheel to spin to crush the grain into flour. And, flour is what you can sell and make money off of. It's just the example I'm using right now. It's this physical element, though, this internal choice that we have to, make to set this in motion, to set our new fortune in motion. This could be walking out of a job. I'm not giving you that advice to do, but for some of you, maybe. This could be breaking up with that person. This could be setting boundaries. I think that's another good one. With family members who might be, I'm getting this family sense that we don't think the same as our cousins. We don't think the same as people in our friend group who we thought would be around us forever. we just don't think the same. You know, we have this new idea, this new sense of ourself is what I'm getting, because directly before the Wheel of Fortune is the Hermit. And he goes into isolation to learn more about himself, to come out and share it with the world in order to, spread that light and knowledge that he gained from taking a step back. And with this Wheel of Fortune, I sense that you guys gained this new perspective from being in that hermit mode, but we're moving out of it. And we're having the end of a cycle, this 10 right here, that's the end of a cycle. 7 for me is divine knowledge, it's 7 is created by 3 and 4 is how I like to look at it. So 3, I think of 3s as feelings, creation, sort of like an intangible aspect, and 4s are about stability. Think of like 4 pillars, 4 corners, an earthly realm. So 3 and 4, an intangible with a tangible together, creates, that magic, that divine knowledge. It's the application of your feelings in the real world, and then what results is that divine knowledge. Wisdom is only gained through applying. Oh God, what's the word? Wisdom is only gained through applying knowledge. Thank you. I don't know why that brain fart came through. So I do see a good turn in fate coming up. Congratulations on going through that hermit mode. And directly following this energy, I have the 7 of Swords. Now, a lot of people will read this card as sort of like a self-deception. But the coolest thing about tarot is that you create the imagery and the language, by yourself. It is your creation. The cards, yes, they have their symbols, their motifs, their metaphors, and that's absolutely great if you want to learn in a textbook style, but the real magic comes with divining your own language. And for me, I really cannot look at this card as anything but positive. So for me, the Swords are all about lessening and lightening the mental burden and, cutting away old ideas that no longer suit us, or self-limiting beliefs, anything in the thought realm that's really not serving us. And we see this guy, he's got 5 swords and he's left 2 behind, and we have this, I view this as this village here, going off to war. They're unaware of him taking these swords is what it looks like. But how I see it is that he is balancing all 5 of these swords on nimble, light feet. He looks like a dancer. And maybe some of you are dancers. Maybe that's a message for you. And he is making away with a lot in his hands. But he's not tripping. He's not burdened by it. He's really fleet of foot. It's the color of yellow. And even on this card, if you compare it to other yellow cards in this deck, this has a more goldenrod color opposed to a pale yellow that you see in the sky here, which means it's an even more golden or optimistic color. For me, yellow is the color of intellect, intelligence, and optimism. It's a very bright card. And so he's leaving these old 2 thoughts behind. They don't serve him anymore. They were never his to begin with. Maybe this is how your dad thinks of the world. This is how your mom thinks of the world. That's not you. You've got a new idea. You've got a new way of thinking. And that was burdening you. It was too much to carry. It was making you stumble. And you dropped this, You dropped these self-limiting beliefs about how the world should work. It's all about what you want, You are at the wheel. You take the wheel in order to shift your life into a new direction. We're leaving these behind. And again, we have 7, the number of divine knowledge in my mind. And I think that it was the experience you've went through recently that was leading you to drop these behind so it could free you moving forward. Because guess what? We have the 6 of Swords directly following. The 6 of Swords is leaving a troubled water behind into a more peaceful time. Okay? It's also about making bridging the gap between, the spiritual realm. Great. Now that's going to be moved for all of my videos. Sorry about that. This is about bridging the divine, the thoughts, feelings, all those intangible aspects, and then putting them into the ground. You see how this reaches from the top, and he's pushed along by plumbing the depths of his soul. This boat can only gain momentum after reaching the very bottom and pushing forward. And I think that's what my pile ones have done after this hermit mode that they've been in. I really see you guys gaining a really powerful perspective. I see you shifting into the driver's seat because we have the lovers coming afterwards. To me, the Lovers card is about how you identify in the world. We have a man with a zodiac tree behind him on the physical earth plane. And this can just be masculine energy. It doesn't have to be any male or female sexes. I think that in my interpretation, the language that I create, there's no gender in tarot. There is just reflections of masculine and feminine energy, which we all have inside us. So this man is really good at, this masculine energy is really good at creating on the physical plane. And he looks for divine wisdom by looking towards the female or the feminine energy. She's a feeler. She's in her thoughts. She has amazing, insightful intuition, and she gets that divine knowledge, which is the snake here, by looking towards the angel, towards the heaven, towards her guides. And so we see this cycle again, which we're also seeing in the Wheel of Fortune. And it is by acting intentionally, by him looking to her, her looking to the angel. She had to look there for guidance in order to gain a sense of where you fit in the cosmos. And that's what I'm getting from my pile ones. I'm sensing that, since this was in reverse, we're plumbing the depths still. I think that we haven't quite moved into this energy. It's coming up in the future. And since this Five of Swords, this conflict was in reverse, I think we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to cause a disturbance in our family. We want to keep the peace. We want things to be tranquil. But let's not forget everything we learned on our hermit card mode, our moment. How we left these two things behind in order to lighten our load on our mind. I just want to offer my sage advice for my pile ones is to have the confidence to know who you are after coming out of this hermit mode. And I want my pile ones to really have the confidence to move forward, to really set this wheel in motion, to go after that new idea and defend it, and to know that some family members, some friends, some experiences, some jobs, some careers are meant to fall away so that more can come in, And I really see us leaving, this gray period where we've been in our head, where we've been confused, where we've been in the hermit mode, and moving forward to figuring out where it is we are in this cosmos, who we are, This is going to be a very specific message, but the Lover's card to me talks a lot about sexuality and identity. So for some of you, maybe you're coming out of the closet. Maybe you're identifying as trans, intersex. That's what this card personally means for me. So that's what I'm getting from the tarot. I want to go ahead and see what your oracle card is. Skunk, another 7. Wow, look at that. Okay, so this card to me really talks about leaking sexual energies. And I get this sense maybe of needing to let this aspect, you'll know what I'm talking about, drop away and let it be dead, I think that when we try to hold on to old parts of ourselves, I think that internally we struggle a bit, we don't identify with it, but it helps us identify with the world, which can be helpful. But if this is really cluttering the mind, we've got to let it go, because then it starts to clutter and bleed into other elements of our life, If you feel like, this is a very specific message, but maybe you were overweight as a kid and you were never allowed to feel beautiful, and maybe you've gone through a glow up recently, and in the pandemic maybe you've dropped a lot of weight. And I think that one, congratulations if that's you. That's cool. Cool. But I'm also getting this sense that we're sort of feeling like we have to project our feelings. And honestly, when we do that, what we're doing is projecting our insecurities on other people. When we're snapping at people, I think that this card in a reverse, this defense, this argument that's you don't want to rise to the surface. I think that when we hold all these feelings under, it explodes, you know? And I think that's also the visual right here in the Lover's card, this volcano-esque element. Peak experiences, but also explosions. And I just get this sense when we get skunk energy to not spray, you know? Say it, not spray it. To really get a grasp on what you learned from this deep dive that I feel like you went through, and allow this transformation to come, you know, and to not force any of these ideas that you have on people, but to maybe just, you know, let yourself live with them and see how that sits for a while. This new person I really see developing with my pile ones. Okay? Now, I am getting a little bit of a love vibe here. I'm going to go ahead and draw some romance cards. I'm just curious. You know, I've had skunk moments in my life where I thought that I had to be someone, you know, in order to attract the kind of person I thought I was into. And it took a long time for me to realize what I was doing, you know, and it was a projection of my own insecurity. And as soon as I saw that, it not only opened my eyes to how I saw other people projecting their insecurities, it really made me shift my awareness. And I think that's the Lover's card again coming through. It really helped me identify my place in the world. Okay, so what's coming in love? Oh, this guy wanted to come out. A honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Oh wow, so there is actually an angel in this boat. I don't know that I've ever noticed that. We have the moon coming through pretty strongly, which is subconscious beliefs. I think that something kept coming up for us in pile one. You know, something that we couldn't quite sort through, and we thought maybe we had it at one point, but it keeps coming up. And I think that's what initiated the hermit mode that you went through. But I also sense that the clouds are parting. Okay, I sense that you guys are moving. You know, we had the Six of Swords. That's moving from a troubled path. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, so the imagery is like actually kind of identical. We have a couple here, you know, it looks like a mom and a small child. And this doesn't look like a mom and a small child. Probably not on a gondola, you know. But it's the same aspect. You can even see the water ripples here and kind of much smoother, you know. This could also talk about travel. And we also have honeymoon. So that's pretty cool. And if there were some confirmations in there, you can take them or leave them if this isn't really about love for you. So I'm going to draw one more card. It's going to look a little scattered. So over the weekend, I created my own deck. I think technically they're called Cabo cards or Cabo cards. So I created this deck with the intention of giving you the keys to your prosperity. Okay, so I'm getting this want for more financial freedom. Wow. Okay, I will take these two. Actually, I'm just taking this one. So, I say wow for a couple reasons. Not only did I just make that comment about these angel wings, I'm like shaking a little bit. Like I have real shivers. So, I very specifically told my guides that this card will not come up unless we're being divinely guided right now. I told my guides very specifically, I do not want this card to come up unless, without a shadow of a doubt, my pile or whoever it's intended for is really being divinely guided. And I also just realized that we have another angel coming through with a Lover's card. And whatever this event is that caused this hermit mode, I just want to say that I love my pile ones and that you do have a place in this world. And that I think that your guides are trying to develop a language with you. You know how in the very beginning of this reading I was talking about how it's so cool that tarot is really fit to every single person. You know, that the imagery means something different to everyone, and you really create this language on your own. And I think that for my pile ones, your guides are either you have a really great connection, and this is a confirmation for you. You know, we've got angels coming through 3 times. You can even see some angels up here. That's just really amazing. So you're really being divinely guided right now to take this, you know, set this wheel in motion, is what I just heard. Wow. Okay, is there anything else for my pile ones? This is what I'm getting right now. There is a brighter future ahead for you, okay, pile one? And whatever this event is that we're sorting through, whatever hiccup just came through, just know that it's really important for you to love yourself first, okay? It's so important not to identify yourself in the world, but to identify yourself through your own lens, you know? Don't look at the lens of the world. You don't look at Instagram and try to fit yourself on Instagram, you know? Don't look at a magazine and try to fit yourself in that magazine. You know, you're beautiful the way you are. The angels for me are a reminder of not only your infinite nature, your ability to reincarnate over and over and over again, the infinite nature of your soul, but angels are about your unique expression. You know, you came here to express yourself uniquely, not to be like anyone else. I know that's a little bit more of a cliche message, but it's important to be yourself. You know, you have a quality about you. All of your experiences have only ever been experienced by you. Your unique set of experiences are your own, and no one could ever duplicate that. That's what makes you unique. I'm also going to draw a message from the void. So I like to do channeled automatic writing, and I'm going to pull one of those for you guys. Look up. Oh my God. I just got such shivers up my legs. Look up. Look up for UFOs for some of you. But also, wow. Wow. This is such... Wow. I'm geeking out a little bit, pile one. So she is looking up. You know, we were talking about using your intuition to develop this language. You know, to see where you fit in the cosmos, you know, to know that you're infinite. Your message from the void is to look up. Maybe look up from, you've just had your nose to the grindstone. You know, there's that grindstone. And we really need to pick ourselves up and trust that this inner dive that we've done, it was meant for us, you know. And we've really gained a great, powerful perspective from it. But for some people in this reading, we're also being called to really communicate with our guides. I mean, this is amazing. The number of confirmations coming through. You're being divinely guided right now. Your guides are closer than ever. You may actually have a set of new guides coming in because I see this turn of direction coming in for you. And your spirit guides, it feels like you have a new team. And I think that your new team wants to develop a language with you. And look up can be, like, literally, pull your nose out of the book, get out of the office, go out, take a walk in nature, stargaze. But it also can be do some studying, you know. If you feel really inspired by any of these messages, look into them, you know. So that's what I'm getting from my pile one. It was an absolutely beautiful reading. If you felt like this resonated with you, I'd love to see a comment or a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, you can press subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye! Hi pile two, and welcome to your reading. We're going to get to your oracle card last, but for those who chose the red, that makes me think that you guys really need some willpower right now. You could really stand to have an extra dose of strength or love, or just some, you know, general physical energy. We also really have that red color very prominent in our first card, the Hierophant. So for me, red is about intense feelings, passion, strength, and courage. And we also have that kind of fire element repeated here in the Knight of Wands, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So for my pile twos, You'll see some sea glass on these cards. The cards that have sea glass were reversed when they came out, but I just think for visual sake, it makes more sense to have them upright. You know, they look a little more readable that way. And they do mean something different when they're reversed to me, but again, I don't always take reversals. So I just thought this was a clever way of, indicating what their original orientation was. Speaking of, when I see the Hierophant in reverse, that makes me think that you guys are more interested in going down a spiritual path. For some of you, you are seasoned spirituality pros. Some of you are occultists, or just really interested in occult knowledge. Occult literally means hidden, and society these days have attached an extra connotation to that word, so that it's more negative and woo-woo. But that's not what occult means. It literally means hidden knowledge. So I get the sense that with this Page of Swords, since you are this Page of Swords, this breath of fresh air, this young youthful being on this hillcock with a great brand new perspective is what I'm reading. This high flying idea. You really have some zeal and lust for life. And I think that we are coming out of the rabbit hole for some of you. This Hierophant is really all about how you identify the mask you show in the world. Your rising sign is another way of looking at it. And I get the sense that because we have this Page of Sword, which is sort of a newer beginning, I think that my pile twos are new to spirituality, is what I'm getting. They're new to practicing witchcraft. They're new to working with the law of attraction, manifestation. Maybe these are some things that you might want to look up or look into further. We also have, this just caught my eye, these 3 pyramids here. And that just, for me, really solidifies that my pile twos have been going down a spiritual track, or are just beginning, or thinking about going down it. They don't want to jump on the bandwagon is what I just heard, but sometimes the beaten path is it's beaten for a reason, It leads towards a new perspective. And I think my pile twos are reaching for a new perspective. You're bringing life into the void. You're bringing life into the desert. We have this Knight of Wands, this really passionate character who has a blooming wand up here and the just desert golden sands all around. We have the transformation from a page into the wands. A quick new thinker, someone who's just embarked on this path. And if this is not spirituality, this is just your face, your personality, what you share with the world, and your identification. That thought left my mind. We're going to move on. So we've now graduated to the knight. The knight is building something. Our pages are our apprentices. Our knights are builders. And I see you building this will, which is interesting because you chose red. And this to me is really all about willpower. The willpower to do something new. And, I had that message of the beaten path, and that resonates for some of you. But for others, this is about taking your own lead, bringing life literally into the desert, starting a new track, thinking about something in an unorthodox way, taking an unorthodox approach to, for some of you, this is working at home. For some of you, this is, taking a leap of faith and cutting down on your hours at work to free up your time, For some of you, this is a call to go out into nature to clear your head, okay? And I know I'm jumping ahead, but we have the progression of the Page of Swords, which is you, into the future, which is the Queen of Swords. And for me, the Queen in this deck is the highest element. And it was in reverse, which tells me that you are this queen, So my pile twos are currently going through a metamorphosis from a run-of-the-mill person to one with awareness and vitality. And I think that something in spiritual in nature has really sparked this, okay? So as far as, yes, because we have 5. 5 is about change, okay? And I think it's a change of perspective for my pile twos. And we have, after this Knight of Wands moment, building this will, funding a will that's going to light you up. If you have a job that you're stuck in that just doesn't inspire you, it depresses you. You might be, some of you are burnt out, is what I just heard. Recognizing what that is and feels like is something that you should look up. Okay. I feel called, one of you out there is feeling burnout. What that looks like is getting out of work and just, venting in your car. The second you hit that parking lot, you are either like running to get that drink of alcohol, running to get that smoke, or calling your boyfriend and just venting about how much work just fucking sucks. And it's sucking your soul and you're losing yourself and your identity. Maybe that's why we're having this metamorphosis. That's what burnout feels like, okay? You not only hate it, but it just feels soul-sucking and you feel yourself losing grasp on reality. I had to get that message out. So moving forward, we have the Three of Pentacles. For me, threes are all about creation, and the depiction here is specifically about working with a group to achieve the end result, okay? So we have these two figures here are holding, the guides. They're holding the rule book. They're holding the directions, the instruction manual for how this, chapel or this cathedral, whatever this is supposed to look like. I honestly get a vibe that this guy's doing some curls and this is a bench and this is like a really old gym. So some of you, that was a message to start your new gym. That was a very specific message. Wow. So we have, again, this flower blooming here and the cross inside of it, which is just another symbol of creation to me. But this card talks about mastery, okay? And to really scale new heights, it's going to require teamwork, okay? We have the skilled artisan here standing on a bench, so he's already supported. But we're going to really talk about support even further by having this team right here, this wise team who is helping him sort of bring this idea into existence, really mastering something. Some of you could be in art school and not really liking it, and needing to get out, you've gained a fresh perspective during the recent quarantine and, you really feel like a hotspur, a hothead. You really want to get out and change the world. My very willpower, energetic piled twos, you either need a little bit of energy, a little red in your life, some pomegranate, some apple, or you are this person. And I'm getting the sense for the most of you, you are this really, this person who has a high libido right now, just has a lot of want to go out and create. And you have this like new impulse to go build something new. And we're having this building imagery really coming through. For some of you, you don't know what this talent is. We have the Ace of Cups, okay? So the Ace of Cups is upright, and this is a gift from the divine, from the universe. We have this hand emerging from the clouds with all this auric streaming around it. We also have this, I'm not a really religious person. It's that little tablet you get, forgive my ignorance. It's like body of Christ, right? You get your little sip of grape juice. I am not trying to offend anyone right now. You get your little soda bread, I think is what it is. And for me, it's really talking about this image, this fruitful gift from the divine is a new dream. The cups can be talking about dreams. They can be friendships, a new group. Maybe my group twos are really manifesting a friend group, a new soul family, to build something new, to create something together, to create a new mindset, to create a new path of spirituality, to create. It's a very creative card. And for me, there's a very beautiful Indian proverb that makes a metaphor out of the water lilies. So if you've ever been to like a swamp or a boggy place, a lake, there's this beautiful metaphor of the water lily producing an unusually beautiful bloom emerging from a really gross, dark, the squelchy, mucky reeds. And for me, that talks about a person who's been through quite a bit. Maybe someone who has a childhood that wasn't great. Some aspect of trauma is there, but you have emerged from that and will be emerging when this friendship, this soul group that you're bringing in, comes. And I want you to accept it. Okay, that this is for you. This gift from the divine, and that you are getting the green light to go forward and be this new person because your soul is meant to bloom as well. Okay. Lastly, we have the Queen of Swords, and she is crowning herself with gold and also butterflies. Okay. We have all these scattered high-flying thoughts with the many birds here, condensing down to one idea, one understanding of yourself, a solid understanding, also a new beginning for some of you. And she has shunned her shackles. She has freed herself, from any self-limiting beliefs, with how you identify in society. She has freed herself from that. She is her own person. Now, there's no gender how I read tarot, there is no gender, okay? There is only masculine and feminine energy. So you're moving into this, more feminine state of energy, a more spiritual nature, listening to your intuition, okay? Getting out of the clouds of your mind. You are emerging into this person, this queen here, who personifies such intellectual strength. My pile twos are very smart. My pile twos have been doing some soul growth, You're earlier on in your fool's journey, okay? On this new path that you're taking, you're earlier on in it, but you have made some definite steps in the right direction, okay? You're moving from a clouded past, maybe a time of confusion. For some of you, it is a time of trauma, and your soul is blooming, okay? The butterflies talk about this metamorphosis, but they also talk about the crystalline property of your soul, okay? This is not just one incarnate. You have many incarnates. You've been here many times before. My voice just cracked, so that was really strong for some of you. I think some of you are old souls, and I think that in this lifetime, you are supposed to take this unorthodox approach because that's going to uplift humanity at this time, It's going to inspire so many people. This new idea that you have, this new want to go somewhere else, this something that you are currently building, okay, is going to bring peace. It's going to bring, if anything, a new way of thinking, and that's amazing. It's going to bring a new perspective into the world, okay? This was in reverse, which tells me that you are this queen, okay? And we have the breath of Psyche. We got an angel coming through here. Lots of butterflies, the double sickle moon. And we have emerged from this past, all this gray. You see her head? It's well above the clouds. And she has her hand saying, this is next, okay? This is how I rule, with such authority and confidence. She's a little stern, okay? But she is very confident with who she is. She's an intellectual thinker. For this card, it's what do you think, pile 2? What do you think about? What do you want to make? What do you want to build for the future? What do you want to make so that other generations coming through can live in this prosperous state of being, who can benefit from this, new perspective? So I'm going to go ahead and see what your oracle card is. You have, wow. Was I not just talking about a soul family, teamwork? For me, the dog is all about pack, a member of the pack. And it's about this new soul tribe. I really think my pile 2s are manifesting a soul tribe, okay? We even have 1 and 4 is 5, this change, okay? This change of team, this change of pack, a new friend circle. Okay. 1 is about the creation, a new beginning, 4 is stability. Okay. This is a confirmation for my pile 2s to have the confidence to go ahead with this thing that you're building, this new idea that you have, this occult way, this new way of doing things. This is a confirmation that you're going to have stability. Okay. It's the new beginning followed by stability. You're entering a prosperous time, I think, in a mental aspect. You're going to have a lot of love going in this direction, okay? My sage advice for my pile twos is to find this soul family. Find your new soul tribe. And if that doesn't resonate with you, find a new friend circle. It means the same thing, you know? People who align with your values, you know, and identify with what you identify with, and not necessarily people you've had in the past. It's okay to let friends go, experiences, jobs, talents. It's okay to allow them to go in order to have a new perspective and to allow for new to come in and new beginnings. And I'm going to draw one more card for you guys. Over the weekend, I created my own deck of Kavo cards. And for these guys, I wanted the intention to be keys to unlocking your prosperity. So let's see what is coming through for my pile twos. Oh, I just got shivers all the way up my legs. Did I not just say pomegranates? What? So I think that my pile twos could also benefit from cleansing and clearing the root chakra. If you don't know what that is, I think this is a call to, you know, look that up. You guys are really impacted by this red, okay? This strength, this fire, this willpower. I think you're forging a new will moving forward in your life. That is amazing. Pomegranates to me are about the time is ripe, okay? It's a fruitful endeavor that you're heading towards. This content that you're building will be fruitful, okay? Some of you are very fertile at this time. That's a very specific message. To me, very, very specifically on a personal level, pomegranates are, I like to put them in stockings around Christmas, okay? And it's just beautiful, ripe rubies. Maybe some of you might want to work with garnets. I'm just getting this sense that let's balance our root chakra. Our root chakra really helps us feel stable, okay? I think that some of us are craving stability. And I think uprooting and going after this new concept is causing some influx with the mind, but you are going to emerge victorious, okay? You are the Queen of Swords. You are this intellectual person. You are very wise, okay? There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge tried, you know, put to the test, experimented with. You are my wise, intelligent number twos. So this is what I'm getting for my pile twos. If you felt this resonated, you know, give me a good thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to hear more like this in the future, you can go ahead and press subscribe, and I'll see you guys in your next reading. Bye! Hello, my lovely pile threes, and welcome to your reading for all of those who chose the yellow. Yellow for me is really about intelligence, communication, and knowledge. It's used in candle magic, or if you're just using yellow to sort of bring forward something, you want to bring forward confidence, you know, focus, and just communication in general, knowledge, imagination too. That's a very good color for you guys. For your pile, I'm pulled to go, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to read your card first, the whale. Okay, I was very interested to see what this was. I haven't read, usually for the other piles I left this to the end, and I wanted to go ahead and look at this first. So whale is the record keeper. For the number 4 is about stability, 1 is a new beginning. And that gives me so much more understanding as I'm starting to look at these cards. And then together 5 is change, and that makes sense to me. So the whale could be your spirit animal. This could be a confirmation for you. And when I think of whales, I think of sonar. I think of diving deep, a deep dive, maybe in your soul or your psyche. The waters are intuition, okay? And I see this star up here, which I'm reading as divine guidance. We've also got the stars up here on the chariot card. And for me, you are my pile who is a little more spiritually inclined. You're in tune with your psychic abilities. You know, we all have psychic abilities. That's just something that's really been stigmatized in the more recent society. But we all have the ability to tap into our intuition. So specifically for whale, I'm getting that you might be clairaudient. or you just generally have the ability to pick up high or low frequencies. You also could be fairly telepathic. You're very more psychically inclined. And again, this is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But I'm just going to go ahead and say, hello, my psychic pile threes. It's very nice to meet you. So the whale is telling me to find your voice. Some of you might be singers. Some of you might be writers, you know. It's a record keeper. It looks like to me that you're finding your voice, your tone of voice, what you want to talk out about, what you're passionate about, or literally like the tone you want to sing at for some of you. And humans are the only creatures who don't have a unique sound or cry. And that's why this call, you know, because whales, you know, the echolocation, it's a call to find your voice. So I'm going to go ahead and move this guy off here. So, very interesting that my yellow pile chose a card, mostly yellow, and we've got this great Nine of Cups wish card for you. So I'm going to stop the reading right here. You guys have everything you want, and I'll see you in your next reading. Just kidding. But really, we're going to take a second, and I want you guys to make a wish. It can be about anything. Okay. If you want to pause the video, that's great, but the 9 for me is about success and perfection, and specifically this card, it's about making a wish, okay? So we have the Chariot. Now, this lets me know, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, and we have the Death here, which lets me know you're on a bit of a fool's journey at this time in your life. Okay, you're embarking on something new, but you've been down this path for a while because we were met with the number 7, and then we're moving towards 13. And in tarot, the fool's journey has 21 steps, maybe 22 if you count the 0 as the fool, but he's really just the initiator in my mind. This tells me that you're learning that every situation, every belief, every thought, every action, there are two sides to every coin, okay? A yin and a yang. I'm also picking up on the Hermes wings right here, and then the repeated imagery here in the Knight of Cups, which is pretty cool because the Knight of Cups was in reverse, which lets me know that the Knight of Cups is you, opposed to the Knight of Cups figure coming into your life, okay? The sea glass here is just it's a visual aid to remind me that these cards were in reverse. I just think it's a lot more pleasing when you're looking at a spread to be able to read them upright. So the the Chariot, okay? So to me, some of you could be leaving home, okay? You could be traveling, you know, book that Airbnb is a message I just heard. Leaving a place of a time of isolation because we've got these towers back here, these castles, and you know, also I'm just being drawn to the 41 in the whale. So stability, then new beginning, leaving behind stability, especially because you guys have been sitting in this 9 of Cups energy. Leaving behind stability to start a new beginning in something. And new beginning is written all over this. I'll get there in a second. So the Knight of Cups tells me that you're building something along the lines of a new friendship, a new relationship, and love. And, you know, right off the bat, I'm just going to go ahead and pause right there. I'm getting a little love vibe for my pile 3s. And I'm going to go ahead and draw for my romance deck. So, universe, what's coming in love for my pile 3s? What is coming in love? We have give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay, I'm just going to take this card. So we have, I see this woman right here, you know, and she has her eyes closed. She's in it, but she's not really committed, you know. She doesn't look fully satisfied. Her angel, wow. Her angel, her lover, looks beautiful, charming. They're There's some roses, so there is love in this relationship, and maybe there's just a want for passion, okay? And her eyes are closed, which lets me know that she's not seeing the full picture, okay? Wow, we have the towers up here again, the castle that we've left behind. And now I'm reading these as peonies, which are my favorite flowers, so maybe that's a confirmation for some of you. But her eyes are closed, okay? And for me, this light blue color is really evocative of the throat chakra, which means that she's not really, I just got chills, using her voice. Give your relationship a chance. For those of my pile threes, for those of you who this is a relationship aspect, for those of you that I'm hitting on sort of a new beginning in love, we're being told to give it a chance, okay? But I'm also sensing that we're not using our voice. We're not telling our partner how we feel. And we're being advised to work on our partnership, okay? I think we need to have more open communication, okay? Yellow is the color of communication. And this has open up and talk all over it. Maybe there's something we've hidden in the past, okay? Maybe our partner did something, but maybe we never really talked about it, because there's two sides to every coin, okay? There seems to be information that you're not giving or receiving, and I think this is telling you to dive deep, figure out what this is, okay? And just bring it out into the open so it can be dissolved, As soon as we bring light or this element from the shadow into the light, it dissolves, it goes away, and we don't have to carry that around with us anymore. Maybe there's some aspect in the relationship, this is very specific, you want kids, he doesn't want kids. Maybe you guys have changed since then, Maybe you want to move somewhere else. You don't like your house, you don't like where you're living, you really want to go. And you've been holding that back and misplacing that sort of inner discord on the relationship, and it was never about the relationship in the beginning. It was about you not talking about it, sharing that you don't like your home, that you don't want to live here, okay? But we're going to move from this message. For those of you that this is a creative work, that this is a dream, that this is your, water, psychic powers, I'm getting my psychic reading over here again. It looks like you are building something, okay? The nights are all about building. And I see you building a fruitful time. Look at these fish that are on his garb, okay? And it seems like he's bringing life into the desert, okay? Or he's standing on an oasis. This horse is repeated here again, and kind of in this chariot element. So some of you might be equestrians. That could be a confirmation for some of you. And I see this need to, have the end of a cycle go so that we can bring forward, this prosperous moment. So he has his hand outstretched for this cup, and we have another Ace of Cups down here, which is incredible. You guys have two aces. You guys have the most prosperous reading so far, okay? There seems to be so many new beginnings for you. The Death card for me is not scary at all, okay? We have the dawn of a new age. The Death rides in on his horse to sort of bring the harvest in, okay? This is a harvest rose on his flag. The end of a cycle, 10, in order to start and create a new beginning, 3. 3 is about creation, okay? I'm getting a sense that my pile 3s have really been living in a prosperous time, and there's this sense to sort of use that for your advantage, okay? You've really built something up so far, and I think it's time to take it to the next level, or you're being guided to take it in a new direction. Perhaps it's a new perspective that we need to look at. This yin and yang energy. There's two sides to every coin. And you know what? Over the weekend, I created my own deck of Kavo cards, and I created this deck with the intention of producing the keys to unlock your prosperity. So for my pile 3s, what is the key to unlocking pile 3's prosperity? Wow, okay. Third eye blind is one thing I heard. Wow. So we were just talking about psychic, energy, telepathy. clairaudience. Some of you are obviously very psychically inclined. You have a very developed third eye. Um, and this is a call for some of you to cleanse that and to open up your third eye. For some of you, since there's so much strong yellow, you might look up cleansing and clearing your solar plexus chakra. But back to this eye. Okay, so the key to unlocking your prosperity right now, for some of you, close your eyes. Yellow is a color of imagination. I think some of you don't know what it is you want. You've been sitting here wishing, 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 wishing. Maybe some of you are really new into manifesting or the law of attraction. I'm getting this sense that we don't quite know, we aren't able to identify what it is we want. Maybe we're really good at seeing both sides of the coin, and because we can see both sides so well and we're so developed at that, we don't make a move because we see that there's good and evil in all of it, and we're just sort of stuck, So these figures, these sphinxes, are not attached to the chariot. And if you think of the sphinx, out in the desert, near the pyramids of Giza, it is in the sand, okay? So very solid and not connected, There's no horse carrying this cart. He can't move forward. And we can't move forward until we identify what it is that we want. Because right now, my pile threes the energy is really, supportive of bringing something in. And I think that as soon as we identify what it is that we want, we are going to get that, okay? So we're going to get this new idea, this new willpower. This wand energy is all about passionate will, okay? Physical energy and strength. And now we have the castle here, really, really far in the distance, okay? And this is towards the future aspect of the reading, what's to come. Maybe the sage advice I have to offer right now is to open your third eye, to really do a deep dive and to figure out what your calling is here on earth. I think we've been sitting in a really prosperous place. And I think that we don't really know, what else we want. We've really got it good right now. And we might have this little seed or urge in us right now to ask for more and to want for more. And we just have to identify what that is, because as soon as we do, we're going to get that. Okay, we're calling it into being. There are two aces here, two gifts from the divine. I mean, it's very rare that I'll get two aces in a reading, okay? And the death card for me is another very prosperous card, okay? And it's upright, which lets me know that you're not going to resist this. This is a fated event coming through because it's the major arcana, which means that I think if we are listening and tuning into ourselves, these events are going to unfold naturally. I think my pile 3 should be on the lookout for this idea that's coming through. This is a new idea that's emerging from the clouds, and this hand from the divine. It's going to come like a flash of intuition, There's one concept that's coming to mind with the eyes closed. If you've ever tried palming, so put like this palm of your hand up into your eyes, it's a really good way for me to just, draw a blank slate. You can close your eyes and that's one thing, but I honestly, sometimes I feel like I can't even keep my eyes closed. Like I'm focusing so hard on relaxing, but if I relax them too much, they open naturally. Right now I'm being told to palm, literally place this heel of your hand over your eyes and find sort of a balance point, because that removes the entire idea behind needing to keep your eyes closed, okay? And this void that you're going to create, this blackness, this black space from behind your head, I think it's going to really open up what it is that you want to, go forward next. It's going to help you identify, this is the key to your prosperity, is developing your third eye. Okay? I don't know why I was drawing a heart around this, but that was very cool. Some of you might need to balance your heart chakra. Some of you, this is a message of love. I don't know why I did that. That was sort of subconscious. So regarding this new idea, we're far out in the country. Maybe we did book that Airbnb and we really let ourselves, go and take a little bit of a retreat to find our voice, our inner calling. And I think that we're taking this advice, this is very nice. right here. This energy is saying that we're allowing this thing to come to an end. We're allowing whatever we were working on, that was so fruitful, maybe we haven't shared it, and this element that we're building, this relationship, this connection, this dream, I think that we're going to be able to, work on this partnership and give it a chance. We're going to have some information come through, some willpower come through to be able to stick it out. I get this sense that you're in a good partnership. It's just that you're almost not allowing it. Okay? Maybe my pile threes, we accept the love we think we deserve. To steal from Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's a confirmation for some of you. We accept the love we think we deserve, and I think that my pile threes are really deserving. Okay? I think that when I was first going through my spiritual awakening, I was having a lot more anxiety than I was used to. And there's a psychic medium, Tyler Henry, who put it so beautifully and it opened my eyes. Undue anxiety is really intuition coming in without a channel. Okay? It's flashes of insight, mental downloads, and it's not knowing what to do with it and just being hit and bombarded with it over and over and over again. You're my very psychic pile, okay? You're very sensitive. You might be extra sensitive people. And I think that taking a step back, leaving behind the city and going on this retreat that I see is really going to bring forward a really prosperous time, okay? So this Ace of Cups was in reverse, but regardless, these aces are a gift from the divine, okay? I think that we're saying no to something, This friendship, this relationship, it's in the reverse. So we're letting this cup pass from us. I think that for some of you, there could be two suitors, okay? And I think that one has had your attention for a little bit longer. And this new person coming through, after we're able to balance what is going on, I think we're going to feel balanced, is what I meant to say. After we do this little introspection moment, we take a step back, we get this message, this confirmation, this impulse and drive to do a new deed is what I'm hearing. We're going to let what we were doing or what sort of we had been growing, we're going to allow that to be fruitful. We're going to publish the book. We're going to publish the song. This creative element that we've been building for a while. Some of you could be writers. You might need to go on a retreat to finish that last chapter or to write the introduction. You could be songwriters. Any other creative, what are my creatives building? I'm not getting a specific hit on that, and that's fine. So this is what I'm getting so far for my pile threes. I do want to go ahead and draw a message from the void. So these are channeled channeled through automatic writing. So what is coming? What can we hear for our pile threes here? Don't smother it. Ooh, okay. We are being encouraged to birth this new thing, okay? I think this creative project that we've been building for quite a while, this relationship, don't smother it, pile three. Give your relationship a chance, work on this partnership. I think that you were really psychic. You just didn't know how psychic you are, okay? Again, some of you are fairly clairaudient, and I think that some of you have claircognizance too. Clairnoy, yeah, my voice just broke, so. There are some of my pile threes who this is resonating for with very strongly. So don't smother it. Give it space. It looks like we've gone and given it space too. All right. So this is what I'm getting from my pile threes. I hope this resonated for you. If it did, leave a comment below. Give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more messages like this in the future, you can go ahead and press subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile fours, and welcome to your reading for all of those who chose the blue. Now, I'm going to get to your oracle card in a second, but for those of you who chose blue, that makes me think that you guys are really calling forth some peace, some harmony, some healing energy. Blue's really also, to me, about patience and protection, but also truth, and harmony, and undeniably a psychic ability, okay? So let's go ahead. Not all the piles did I draw the oracle first, but for you guys, I really want to see what your oracle card is. You guys have the porcupine in reverse. Okay, so first off, I want to give all of my pile fours like the biggest hug. Okay, I love you guys. Everything will work out. This card is about innocence, okay? The porcupine is about innocence, but if he's in reverse, this talks to me about a loss of innocence. Okay? Now, I think that maybe some of you have been dealt a hard blow recently in your life. And perhaps that we need to learn how to trust again. Okay? I think that another message is that, life is not about being serious 100% of the time, 24/7. If you had to choose only two options, would life be about love and enjoyment, or would it be about, hard work and despair? That's a very, very oversimplified concept for something as, large as the meaning of life. That's a big existential topic. But just for the sake of this card right now, it's telling me that you guys need to have a little more fun and to play a little bit. For those of you who've recently gone through, a little bit of a harder time, I think that we might be holding ourselves here, holding ourselves in this receiving mode, that we could receive love and affection from other people so that it might inspire hope again. And I don't want to lessen anyone's situation, but this concept of victimhood is a really nasty one, okay? I think that when we get stuck too much in our head and feeling sorry for ourselves, we push away all the people in love that really could be coming for us. Again, I am not trying to lessen anyone's situation. I've been through some extremely difficult times in my own life. And I just know that there is this sense of power, that comes in inner peace and allowing, a breath of life to come in, love to come in for you. Allow, I'm going to go ahead and draw from my romance deck. I just want to see, because the loss of innocence for me makes me feel like someone hurt you recently. And I know that it might be difficult to love again, but if you go and continue for the rest of your life down this path of victimhood, that's not going to be fruitful for you. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Let's draw another one. We also have the Queen of Cups, who's gone down. Okay, so the big message that comes with this queen, there's a number, but one of my favorites is, I must return to the lonely sea. Go down to the lonely sea and open your heart not for one, but for the world. Maybe we were going to share this story of hardship that happened to us, okay? It's time to disconnect from the world. Interesting, because we have the world at the end of your spread, and we'll get there. I want to draw one more. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime, okay? Wow. Look at this really resplendent image. Okay, we've got little Cupid arrows coming in from behind. This guy in his gladiator gear is honestly... he looks so hot right now. So I want to tell my pile of fours that there is love in your future, okay? True love in your future. This thing that may have hurt you, this person that could have hurt you, don't let this ruin the rest of your life. I think we're being told to retreat, to process this emotion, okay? Because it's not supposed to ruin us forever. We're going to block, this figure who's coming in, okay? And it doesn't have to be a man or woman. I really don't take any gender whatsoever into account. There is a masculine energy and there is feminine energy. Masculine is like power, do, the physical thing. Woman is more feel, receive. Feminine energy is about feeling, intuition, those kind of concepts. And I just see for my pile of fours this loss of innocence is not supposed to hurt us forever, okay? We are supposed to heal from this, and in due time, and I think that now the call could be to disconnect from the world, to try to really get to the bottom of this and see it through one last time, so that you can really have a new beginning. Because girl, boy, there is a new beginning in your future in these cards. It is unmistakable. So let's get to the tarot. I'm going to leave you right there. So the Queen of Cups upright lets me know that there is a figure who has recently come into your life who embodies this queen, okay? She has just a supreme power and respect over feelings, the soul, and the need for self, okay? For some of you, this is a call for self-love. To book an Airbnb to yourself, to go down to the water, to meditate, to take time, ask your partner to watch the kids if you have kids, call on people of support. This is a time for reflection for some of you to really process, the ups and downs that you've been through. So this queen, she tells me that not only are you destined to meet this person who personifies this queen, but you must receive. Not must in like a gotta do this thing, but allow yourself to receive. She has love. Oh my God, okay? Allow this love to come through. If you have already processed this blow that's been dealt recently, this loss of innocence, it's time to shift your perspective. And I think that love is going to be a solution for you, okay? Receive. The Queen of Cups is all about, if you are this queen, it's time to give. You've got a wealth of feelings. If you're destined to meet this queen, it is time to receive. And let it flow. Allow the emotions to flow. We have this unusually beautiful cup. Unlike any other cup in the tarot, this is adorned with angels and just utter splendor. The two angels here are a reminder that you yourself are angelic. There is no one else like you. No one has shared your identical set of experiences through the interpretation of the lens of your eyes. You are this angel, both infinite and your unique properties on this earth should be seen. It's an invitation not to go halfway. We have this fully open throne out in nature and a fully closed cup. This card is saying for you too as well, not to go halfway with your feelings. Let them flow. Let all of them, the depth of your feelings flow, okay? And this queen is also, she's coming in to really start something, this stagnant energy that we've been in, maybe this a little bit of victimhood energy. She's going to come and be a catalyst for you, okay? This two of Pentacles is a decision, okay? It's bringing sort of, we also have infinity again. So the angels for me are about infinity. We have the infinity symbol above the magician. And again, right here, okay? Your infinite nature. My pile fours they're just very powerful manifestors. Okay, I think you could be extra sensitive people, all right? You might look up extra sensitive. That could be really inspiring to some of you. This is not a message for all of you. But this infinity symbol, time goes on. Your soul is infinite. This is just the current incarnate that you're in. And I think we're about to identify what it is we want to bring into existence, okay? This could be a decision between a job, 2 talents that you have, 2 wishes that you have. And we're sort of figuring out, okay? The red right here is telling me to follow your heart, okay? Which one of these talents, careers, do you think is going to just light you up? Red is about passion, intense feelings, courage. Have the courage to go with the one that you really feel drawn to. He's looking at this one, okay? There seems to be 2. One might be more likely than the other, but one is suited for you, okay? I see this. I think with the invitation of the retreat, we're going to bring about this Ace of Wands. This aces have been coming through in the readings today. Oh my God, we have so much wand energy, and there's 3. Okay, getting ahead of myself. So you see how the castle is really far away right here? And this woman too, she is very drawn from society. I think society's back here. I think this is an invitation for you to retreat right now. If you can group 4, you should book that Airbnb. You should go on a little retreat to yourself, a meditation retreat, a trip for just you. I'm getting that this trip away and this time away is going to do you a world of wonder. It's going to be a catalyst for so much change and growth, and new beginnings that I see for you. This ace is a gift from the divine, okay? This is going to be the birth of new passion, a new beginning, okay? The wands are all about passion and drives. And I see a lot of growth in green coming from this. Now we had the magician in reverse, okay? These little pieces of glass, I guess I should have explained them. The sea glass here is just a visual aid for me to remind me that these cards came out originally reversed. I just think it's a better visual if you guys receive the cards upright, especially the tarot cards. So I see a lot of optimism coming from a really blue period of your life, okay? We have this really sort of denser energy, especially along with the porcupine, okay? And then we have this gray, which means that we're sort of in our head here during the retreat. And then I sense that we are stepping into our power. In reverse, there's a little bit of resistance here. The magician to me is you have all the tools at your disposal, pile 4, okay? As above, so below. You can call your thoughts and ideas and feelings into the physical plane. You can manifest them. You might look into law of attraction, manifestation, because you are a pro manifester regardless of the orientation of this card, okay? This rose garden up here, only here and in the Queen of Pentacles do we have a rose garden in full bloom. So too is your soul meant to. Your soul is meant to bloom, pile 4. You are exceptionally gifted at feeling. You might actually have psychic inclinations. We all do, but I think that you're really in your feelings, You're definitely you're an extra sensitive person for some of you. So again, the magician, we're calling into what we sort of figured out with on our retreat. And this could be true love for some of you, and that could literally be the end of the message, okay? This stepping into the world, going on a new fool's journey, okay, with the information you picked up along your current one. It's just very interesting that we have both the magician and the world. Not only were they both in reverse, but this is the beginning of the journey and this is the end, okay? I think that you're about to rekindle your passion, is what I just heard. I think you're about to rediscover your power, yes. So right now with this loss of innocence, I think our power it feels like it's been taken away from us. And again, I want to give the biggest hug to my group 4s. I really feel for you, okay? I have had some up and down moments in my life too. And I think that there's a partner coming through. If this isn't a romantic, this is a friend or a family, but I'm getting romance, okay? This is the romance of a lifetime. This person that hurt us, I think that they were going to be the catalyst for something much bigger, okay? My throat's closing, so I think this is really relevant for some of you. I think that if we stayed in this state of innocence, you really were meant to hear this message, group 4. If we stayed in this loss of innocence state, we would have blocked this true love and we wouldn't have experienced it in this life, but he's coming, okay? This Page of Pentacles is a young soul. He's super handsome. This could be masculine or feminine again. He's got a lust for life. That's why he's got this great red hat, It's a new beginning. He's covered in green. And there's this overwhelming optimistic nature right here going on, okay? Peak experiences with this one. We've got that blue mountain in the background, but also again, at the foot of the blue mountains, there is a rose garden. Is one of my favorite quotes. Here's our rose garden, okay? You can pull anything you want into existence. This is the figure I see coming in, all right? I'm not getting any specifics on name or anything like that. I'm just sensing that this person who's coming in, masculine or feminine, whatever their orientation is, anything in between, I think they're going to help you pull this cycle to an end, okay? Because in reverse, that's why this blue piece of glass is here, the world is stepping on into life with all of this wisdom and experience you've gained from your journey thus far to start again, okay? This is a new beginning. It is the end of a cycle, but also the new beginning. I see multiple cycles closing, okay? We got 2 10s and then a 1. The 1 is the new beginning. Here's our ace. And she's got both wands, okay? You guys are so powerful and influential, all right? Eagle for me is spirit, and I love that in this card, I don't even know if it's a typo. Not a typo. A coloring error? But this cloud is not colored in gray. It's white. And in the animal medicine deck that I have, eagle is spirit, okay? wow, you guys might really have psychic talents. So in order to use the power and the wisdom and the medicine of spirit, eagle, it's about going through the highs in life as well as the low lows. And I think that's what we're talking about here as well in the Two of Pentacles. In order to capitalize on this spirit, this power, to really crown yourself with this superpower, it's about experiencing the highs and the lows, because that gives you perspective, as well as trust, okay? There is a second element that you must crown yourself with in order to capitalize on this spirit, okay? To use the spirit of eagle, the totem, the medicine of eagle, to find yourself as one in the world, but also all in the same. Okay, you are one star, but also the entire cosmos at the same time. There is another infinity symbol here, okay? This red, you guys have infinite reserves of strength, passion, and power, okay? Red is really willpower and love, okay? You are going to be surrounded by love. I do sense that there was this hard part that we went through, and I really feel us moving out of it, okay? And here is this character. This is really a confirmation. The cards, the pages, the suits in reverse tell me that you are that person or resisting it. But when they are upright, this is talking about a person who's coming in your life to influence you, okay? And I see this character, this new love, this new beginning, this new chance. And I think that it's interesting that below this Two of Pentacles, he's got the one, one pentacle. And it's barely in his fingertips. I feel like he's going to be so gentle to you. I'm saying he, but again, let that go either way, okay? And he has barely touched this pentacle, this talent. You might, as a result of this retreat, I think you could be calling down a hidden talent, I think that is coming to light, is what I'm hearing. It's been there all along, but this retreat is really allowing you to draw it in. So this pentacle is only discernible by the border that's been put on it, okay? The yellow is the same as the background. We wouldn't see this without the border, okay? I think the border is really the channel and the perspective we gain from the highs and lows that we've been on. Here's a high mountain, here's the low ground, the valley. That's a beautiful message so far for my pile fours. That's amazing. Over the weekend, wow, I just also remembered, I'm not 100% that this is on camera, but this stone right here, I just got chills. I picked this up a couple weeks ago, when I was on my own fool's journey and I really was resisting the world. I kept drawing the world card and I was like, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And one day I was outside around sunset and I just looked down and amid a bunch of just really average sort of stones, pieces of broken concrete, gravel, things like that, I found this beautiful pockmarked stone that's green, okay? And when I looked down on it, one word emerged. It was begin. I shit you not, group 4. It said begin. And so I picked this up and I've kept it with me. I've obviously got beautiful crystals, lots of pretty stones, but I am keeping this one with me because it says begin. And I'm bringing this up right now because as I reached for my next deck, because I'm going to draw another card for you guys, I had this angel aura quartz on this, but I didn't like how it looked in camera. It wasn't reflecting as beautiful as it is. And so last minute, unlike any other pile, I grabbed this stone to put on top, of my deck. And this is saying begin again, After this period of retreat that I feel like you really should go for, you're going to have a new start, okay? True love. I'm really excited for my pile fours, okay? That was a really beautiful message, and this is synchronicity working for you, okay? So over the weekend, like I said, I created my own deck of Kavo cards. And for this deck, my intention was to give you the key to unlocking your prosperity. So for my pile fours, what is the key to unlocking their prosperity? I want this guy. Pomegranate. I'm going to draw one more just because I drew this in another pile. What is the key to unlocking their prosperity? I'm really feeling you. I don't know. Oh, okay. The cosmos, We were, I just said you are the star, but you're also the entire universe at the same time. Wow. So for me, the pomegranate is really about the sweetness, of life. I think for some of you, this is a call to really balance and cleanse your root chakra. You should really look this up, pile 4, okay? So when we don't have a balanced root chakra, we really feel victimized, okay? I think this is a very powerful message for my pile 4s, okay? When we have a root chakra out of alignment, we feel like we are not provided for. We don't feel safe at all. And sometimes this is not necessarily true. Real life could show you something very different. But I think this loss of innocence has caused us to feel really afraid, okay? And scared that there's not going to be love again. But there is going to be love again, pile 4. That's here. I feel it very strongly. You're starting a new beginning, okay? You have to realize that you are also infinite, okay? This is infinity again. How many infinity signs do we have? 1, 2, 3. This is now 4, okay? Angels also say infinity to me. You are so powerful, okay? I think that you might actually have a hidden talent that's coming to life, is what I'm getting. And I think that maybe you've done this for a while. And I think that this could have something to do with speech, okay? So after we balance this root chakra, blue is really about, the throat chakra, okay? Right here, this blue specifically, and this blue again here in this one. So you might speak about this, something that happened to you, might speak out about it, okay? This hardship that happened, that I feel like was a person. It can also be other circumstances too. All right, so I'm going to draw one more message from the void. This is channeled automatic writing, and I just like to throw little phrases or words in here. I'm feeling this guy. Oh my God. Don't get caught waiting for the other shoe to drop. Wow. Okay, so I think that my pile 4s some of you, this person has come through, and we're afraid that it's going to be a repeat, okay? That you're stuck in this endless karmic cycle, this relationship karma. And it's not, okay? I'm not getting that. If you want clarification, let's take this retreat, okay? But when this love comes through, do not get caught waiting for the other shoe to drop. Don't sit there in this moment of prosperity and optimism when you're bringing new life in, when you're starting this new journey. Pile 4, leave this old, I just got shills, shills, shiver chills. Leave this old self of you in the past, okay? You are so powerful, okay? You have so much to share here on earth, this time in this incarnate, and we're meant to hear your messages, and I can't wait to hear from you. But don't get caught waiting for the other shoe to drop. Don't be and enter this new life and hang on to anything else, okay? Any other aspects. Unless you want to use those as fuel, to share whatever this aspect is. You could be creative writers. You guys might be authors and you don't know. Okay? So this is what I'm getting for my pile 4s. I'm sending you the biggest hug and love as well. Okay, pile 4s? If you felt like this message resonated, leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, you can go ahead and press subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Bye. Hi, pile 5s. All of those who chose the Mars Black, welcome to your reading. So for me, black is really about protection and force, but also really about releasing negative energies and enlightenment. So I say enlightenment because it reminds me of the void, okay? It's very interesting that you chose this because the cards I just drew for you have a lot about enlightenment, okay? You can even look at death as the void too. So I want to, we're going to start with a tarot. The last two I've been starting with the oracle cards. I want to start with a tarot with you guys. So I sense that you are, you could be an art student. You could be in a Masters of Art program. I say that because I was in a Masters of Art program when this card was really relevant to me, as well as, we'll just leave it at that. So you could be working or crafting on a project. Really, 8 is about mastery, and this is a career that we're in. We're climbing the ladder to the top. We also could be craftsmen, artisans. You could be ceramics, or potters, sorry. You could be painters, photographers, anything creative, weavers. You could work in video. But again, this could just be like an office job or working in a hospital, and you're really mastering, honing this process. And I see us in the we have a little step in our fool's journey is this death card. Okay, so we're going to release this creative work. Okay, maybe we've been working on it for quite a while, and since there is this so much gray which is going on, I think it's pretty similar to this black energy. We're in our heads. Okay, I think that maybe we just don't know when to release it. I think we've really been honing our craft again and again and again to get it perfect, okay? But what is perfection? Pile 5. I want my pile 5s to answer that question right now. What do you consider perfect, okay? I think that the time is ripe. When we have the death card, it's about bringing in the harvest. So congratulations, Pile 5. This project that you're working on is going to be fruitful because we have the Three of Cups coming afterwards. The Three of Cups is a celebration no matter what way you look at it. Okay, so if it was in reverse, I would say you're denying yourself a celebration, but I don't see that here. It's about sisterly love. We have this one character with grapes over here. We've got oranges, pumpkins on the ground. Fruitful harvest, literally. So we're literally bringing in the harvest, okay? Something has to end, some cycle, in order to create new. So I see us getting caught in this cycle of perfecting something and really mastering this craft. Not a bad thing, but really in this energy. And then I see us moving forward and releasing this work, and it's going to be celebrated, okay? Some of you could be writers. This could be a manuscript that gets accepted by a publisher. 10 is about the end of a cycle. 3 is creation. And we literally have creation and celebration coming after here, okay? I also just saw 3, 4, 5, which is incredible. It's talking about another cycle coming through. When I see this Three of Cups, it's really high time to celebrate, sisterly love. Go out for drinks with your friends if that's something that you like to do. Go on a little retreat, book an Airbnb for you and your sweet one. Okay, I'm getting the sense that my pile 5s are creatives who've been working on a project. Maybe this is something that you've done in quarantine. We haven't brought it to light yet. It's still in, black in the dark. No one really knows about this, okay? We also have this figure actually wearing black, which is cool. And then we have that black flag waving here, with the harbinger of death. I have a lot of great energy for my pile 5s. I hope you are going to enjoy this ride. So moving on, we have the Four of Swords. So this is about meditation, okay? This is about, for some people, fossilization, so not moving forward. So I see after this period of success, because this really does look like releasing something creative that you've been working on and mastering for a while, and then celebrating that, but then coming back in, what do I want next? My pile of 5s are asking. And for some of you, this is more education, okay? Maybe you are in fact going to be graduating an undergraduate degree, but the Masters of Art is something that you're being called to do. I think when we have the Hierophant, this is really talking about society and the face we put on for society. It also can talk about, not wanting to go down the beaten path for the sense of being, just run of the mill or doing it like everyone else has done. But sometimes pile 5, there is a beaten path for a good reason. Maybe you do have to go after this, next level degree in order to bring about even more prosperity into your life. So this reflection, this meditation that I see here, we have 3 swords up on the wall that look like they could just come down on us. And we have this one sword, this one thought that we've been holding on to. This one creative work is actually what I'm seeing. So this suit of swords is not really about creative works, but this is how I'm reading this message. I'm seeing this gold casket. This feels like this, you could be metalsmithers. That's a very specific message. This one beautiful work you've done, I really see it being such an extremely well accepted work of art. Okay? I also see you reaching the end of a career, and deciding which way to go next. There is an orthodox approach and an unorthodox approach, and we are deciding on that. And I see my pile fives as really smart, but not necessarily emphasis on the smart, just really grounded people, okay? I really think you know how to pull a thought from your mind and bring it into reality. I think my pile fives are pretty good at manifesting, and you might be interested in the law of attraction. I see you as really deep thinkers, okay? Really deeply thinking about a change coming up. 5 is about change, especially when I'm having us go from 3, 4, 5. Okay, that seems like this decision is coming in on the heels of releasing this creative work. And for some of you, you know, this could be going back to school. Okay, do we want that? You know, we keep hearing from everything in the world that school isn't going to pay you bills. It doesn't really get you the job. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it will work out. You might just need to have a little bit of faith. I think with this Hierophant as well, we are deciding where we are going, you know, what face we want to wear. It talks about your rising sign, okay? So if you were, for example, an Aquarius rising, you're really an innovative thinker. You think outside of the box, okay? And I think in that specific interpretation, it would be deciding how to take this, you know, experience that you've gained, this really prosperous, you know, job, and maybe going in a different direction, you know? And taking an orthodox approach, a tried and true approach is what I'm getting for my pile 4s. Or yes, pile 5, I'm sorry about that. My pile 5s are sort of being guided. The sage advice I'm picking up on is to go after this approach after some meditation, okay? And absolutely after this celebration. So we can absolutely not call anything new into being until we have really realized what it is. And that is really done through celebrating it, okay, pile 5s? You can't just, you know, win and just keep going and going and going, because then you lose your perspective, right? You lose the sense of accomplishment, and I can really relate to this. So I used to be a professional photographer, and I would land these deals, you know, with artists and be able to photograph them for really cool album covers and things like that. And I just got obsessed with what's next, you know, in this cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. And I was never living in this moment here. I think that my pile 5s should have an extended period of reflection that follows enjoyment and celebration. This is a very cool reading. I get, again, a really grounded sense. These are really sensitive or sensible people that I'm speaking to right now, my pile 5s. My throat is definitely cracking and going. This is the end of the day. And so just forgive me if my speech isn't 100% pure. So, speaking of purity, sorry. Still in high spirits, which is honestly this Page of Swords. This card for me is a breath of fresh air, okay? And there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There are 10 birds up here, these high-flying ideas. I think that you're really going to be inspired by going after this, you know. You might be a teacher. You might decide to go into teaching, okay? That's a very strong vibe and direction for some of you. You're being encouraged to be a teacher. I know that doesn't sound like the most luxurious life, but I think that teachers are the most impressive and important people in society. Okay, teachers literally are fit for the job to cultivate and nurture and train the minds of the next generation. And if you look at teachers through that lens, it's hard to identify someone else more important, right? So they're literally in charge of training the minds of the future. And I think if we want to progress as a human race, we really want to push forward like innovative thinking and creativity. We want to foster creative minds. And I think that you, pile 5, are extremely creative. You have a wealth of talent, okay? And it's absolutely going to be celebrated. And I just see you going for either more education, you know, to become a teacher. For some of you, this is to be a teacher. For some of you, this is to take a different route. You might be going in a spiritual direction after this. I think for some of you, your reflection, your meditation is going to bring a lot of peace. Okay, there's the word Pax in this stained glass window. Stained glass could be a confirmation for some of you. Pax for others. Peace is Pax. And we have this, it's called Lux Nova, divine light, over this, this figure here. And if you see closely, she is handing out something. And I think she's handing out divine guidance and knowledge. She's sharing what she knows with the world. And I see my pile fours, my pile fives, again, sorry, end of the day. Pile fives really being these types of people, sharing their divine guidance. Black again, right? It's about enlightenment, bringing information from the void into humanity. We can see that with the Hierophant. For some of you, this is very specific. You might be clergymen, okay? You might be deciding to go down a spiritual path. You might want to go into a religious cult for some of you. You might want to start a new religion for some of you. For others, this is really strong teacher vibes, to give back after all that you have learned. And I just want to let you know that it might not be as glamorous as this life that I feel like you are leading, but it's going to be fruitful. You're going to be giving back, to society. This is another specific message coming to you. If you're in the headspace of, I don't know how to move forward, the key is in your hand, okay? That took me a long time to realize. I used to get that message quite a lot. The key is in your hand. I don't know what to do, universe. I don't know how to bring it into being. I have a wealth of talents, and I've seen them have some success and some haven't had as much success. But the key is in your hand, okay? Some of you could be energy healers. That's a spiritual gift. And that's a very specific message. But so this little piece of glass right here, this just is a visual cue for me that this card came upside down, so in reverse. Now, the only important thing about reversals in the court cards lets me know that this page is actually you, okay? So despite going through this journey right here, I don't see you as being a really serious person, I see you being someone who's got a lot of lust for life. You're a breath of fresh air, and I think that you really could do us some good in times like now, is what was coming through. Okay? So that's what I'm seeing so far for my pile fives. Let's go ahead and look at your oracle card. There's a plane going overhead. Moose. Wow. Wow. So many thoughts. 11 is a master number, okay? So if you've been seeing 1111, that could be a confirmation for you, but it's also just a master number. It's a number of enlightenment, okay? We've got that message of enlightenment coming through so many times. I think my group fives are old souls. I think you're old souls and you have a lot to share, especially going through life as you have and being able to retain this newness, this freshness, this ability to start beginnings, to bring fresh air into what was stale. There's something that you're working on. It's a career, it's a job, it's a creative work. You're able to bring a new idea into it, a new perspective. That's why we're on this Hillcock. And I think it's because you guys are masters. Again, this is a master number. This is an element of mastery here. But the moose is also, it is the representative of self-esteem, okay? I think that this card is it's a call to write down all the things that you love about yourself, but all the things you've accomplished. I think my pile fives have really accomplished a lot in their life. And we don't want to get trapped in this, feeling that we haven't done enough. That there's always more. We have to allow this period of celebration, followed by reflection, to give us guidance about what decision we want to make, what career change, where we want to take our talents next, okay? This self-esteem card, the moose, it's literally talking about a time of celebration again, okay? You have something to celebrate, and it's also just, it lets me know that this is not your first rodeo. You've been here before, you know how to work in the 3D realm, okay? So I am going to move forward and draw a message from the void, speaking of voids. So these are channeled automatic writing, okay? I sit down and do some channeled automatic writing. So what do we have? Oh, wow. Wow. Failure is the judgment you make after you stop something. If you've been trying to do something, okay, letting that one slide for a moment. Failure is a judgment. It is not reality. When we go and experience something, we don't remember the experience, we remember the judgment of it. And it's so important to know that distinction, okay? It wasn't the experience that you're talking about. You're remembering the judgment you made, because there's too many life events that flow through. We're all the time bombarded with stimuli. If you haven't stopped trying, maybe my pile fives are on the brink of a breakthrough. Okay, that is for some of you. Some of you, it's time to let this creative work go into the public. It's time for us to see it, and I want to see it. For others, do not stop. Okay, you've been going and going and going. Guess what? You got another pentacle right down here, okay? You've been trying to throw and see what sticks to the wall. You got something right here, okay? And also, look at all these that have stuck already. 6 of them. So, for some of you, this is a very specific message to not stop trying, okay? The failure is just a judgment after you stop trying. That's when you failed. You've tried 10 times and it's never worked for you. Have you failed? Well, are you done? If you're not done, you haven't failed. If you're done, you can call that failure. But I also call that experience. My voice is really fading. So I'm going to draw one more card. I created this deck over the weekend, these Cavo cards, and I made them with the intention to be the keys to unlocking your prosperity. So for my pile fives, your soul is meant to bloom, okay? This card right here brings me back to, these look like poppies that are about to bloom. Poppies are my favorite flower. These flowers that are blooming, I don't know what those are. But I'm pretty sure that these ones that are closed are poppies. Those are my favorite flowers. And it's like that, here's the creative works that have worked, okay? The one that you're currently working on is also going to bloom. This is a harvest rose, okay? It's blooming, it's a bloom. For my pile fives, the secret to unlocking your success and your prosperity, for so many of you, it's just to let this element of perfectionism go, okay? And it's to let this come into the light. For others of you, it's to celebrate what you've done so far. Remember the medicine from the moose card. It's all about, self-esteem. Reflecting. 8 is about reflection. Reflecting on what you have already brought into being, how far you've come, your accomplishments thus far, and celebrating them. At the same time, the moose is also a reminder to write down all the things you love about yourself. I think that's so important. I think that we compare ourselves so naturally. It's a natural thing to compare yourself to the world and how other people are succeeding and where you are in comparison to them, but you are not them and they are not you, and you have not had their set of experiences likewise. No one has experienced life as you have. No one has the exact same set of experiences, and that perspective is magic, okay? It's what makes your soul unique. It's what makes all of us unique. So the key to unlocking your prosperity is to let it bloom, This also just reminds me of, I currently live in California, but I grew up in Maine. It reminds me of the spring. And every morning I lived in a valley. It would be so drenched in fog. And I loved it. It was so inspiring. It made me feel so creative to wake up and see all this mist around. And I used to, yeah, I can't believe I'm sharing this. I used to believe so hardcore that fairies would travel in mist. So that is a confirmation for some of you. That they only traveled under the cloak of mist. So I'm just getting this sense to maybe to book an Airbnb, to celebrate, go into nature, maybe get away from the city like this guy has done. All right. So that's what I'm getting for my pile fives. I hope this message resonated for you. If it did, you can leave a comment below or give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more messages like this in the future, you can press subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye.